Hi, Jill. Hi, Chris. Okay, so I will call to order. Is it 4 o'clock? It's 4:02. Okay. I will call to order the Finance Committee meeting on Monday, February 14th. Members of the public wishing to participate in the meeting must use their full name for Zoom access. If full names are not used, people will not be allowed to participate in the discussion. The town reserves the right to remove any member of the public from the meeting who doesn't use a full name or acts inappropriately. As a preliminary matter, this is Denise Cronow, Chair of the Finance Committee. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Chris Kowacki.
Aye.
Jill Veith.
Aye.
No caller.
Stephen.
Here.
Thank you. Something was happening in the background and I couldn't hear you. Peter Schaefer.
Here. Aye.
Thank you. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Brian Turbot.
Present, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Terry Norton.
Here.
Thank you. Rick Sears.
I'm here.
Ken Bogrant.
Present.
Thank you. Good afternoon. This open meeting of the Finance Committee is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting of the Finance Committee, we're convening via video conference via the Zoom app, and it's posted on the town's website identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. Before we turn to the first item on the agenda, I'm going to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude, I will invite the members to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote, and I am still the only person at home with my dog, so Stephen will be chair when my screen goes black if my dog needs to go out in the next 2 hours. Thank you. So may I have an approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Second. Thank you.
Second.
Roll call, Chris,
Aye.
Jill,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Denise, I thank you. I will open the meeting to public comment. If you have public comment, please raise your electronic hand. Seeing none, I will close the public comment portion of the program. And are there any changes to the minutes from February 8th? If not, may I have a motion to approve
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Chris,
Aye.
Jill,
Aye.
Stephen.
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Denise, I, that has passed. So now we're moving into the item 6, review and discussion of the following 2022 annual town meeting warrant articles and potential adoption of motions. And with this, I will turn it over to Ken to start with Article 19. Oh, Jill, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, this is just more for you knowing, is there any way we can, do we have to do positive, negative on each one? Like if we all thought they were all going to pass, is there any way we can pass them in one vote collectively?
I think that we can. And did the Finance Committee members who are currently on the call, did you get a chance to read all the comments?
No.
Oh, okay, so let's do this. As Ken goes through it, if no one has a negative comment, I'm pretty sure we can do the bulk. Terry knows this probably better, or Brian. We can do a bulk, motion to adopt on all of them, but we have to make sure that we're doing all of them positively, right? So
Yeah, that's what I meant.
yeah.
I'd be in favor of that if anybody else was. That's all I wanted to let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Denise, you want all the motions would be the same, basically that you're adopting all of them.
Yes,
Could also lump them if you have 2 or 3 that are negatives, then you can vote, 1 through 7 and then 7, 8 through whatever, but they would need to be lumped together.
okay, thank you, Terry. All right, so Ken, I'm going to turn it over to you, and then if there's any particular discussion on any single one of them from the Finance Committee, then we'll know to exclude that and then lump all the rest together in one motion. I can keep track of that. That would save us doing roll calls 20 times tonight. So a little bit of a process improvement. There we go. Thank you, Jill. Okay, Ken, over to you. Article
Okay.
19.
Article 19, as indicated in the memo that I did, this was purchased by Remain in 2008 with the goal of demonstrating to the town the need for a bus service, a transit hub, in order to address the communication problems. And as we all experienced last summer, the traffic has gotten worse as opposed to better. And so at the request of the select board, I entered in negotiations with Remain in order to acquire this property on behalf of the town to be used in connection with the transportation hub. It is also a property that is of strategic importance to the town as we develop the Harbor Place complex at the base of Main Street. So the select board has reviewed this in a number of times in an executive session and then a public session, and has approved the acquisition of the property. And we've gone through the process of having town council review all the documentation. We're in the process of getting a last piece, which is the environmental report. And so it's the recommendation of the staff for a positive finance committee motion. Happy to answer any questions with respect to this.
Thank you, Ken. Any questions for Peter?
Yeah, Ken, when it was donated or when it was bought by Remain, what was the original objective of Remain?
Well, the Remain's objective was, in fact, to buy this because they thought it was important to be able to address the whole transportation issue with respect to the town. And so they bought it with a view to, in fact, making it what it is in terms of the bus terminal, to be able to show that having that downtown would allow the town to, in fact, start to take a look at a different means of transportation with respect to getting to the boat basement. So what their whole point was that we needed to address get away from the reliance on cars, and it evolved out of the discussion with respect to when there was a discussion relative to creating a parking garage. And this was part of the solution to, in fact, have an alternate way of addressing how to be able to get people down to where they needed to get to in terms of getting in and out of the town.
So it was never considered a gift, obviously.
It was never what?
Considered a gift to the
No.
town.
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for Ken on 19? Okay, Ken, over to 76.
76 is the home rule petition. I'm not sure whether Tucker was going to come in, but I will cover the points. This is going through the legislature on 2 parallel paths. One, our own home rule petition, which has been there for a while, and then the other one that Tucker has been really working on the transfer fee legislation that has some hope, we think, of finally, in fact, getting approved this year. The language in this home rule petition is designed to allow the town to implement either our own or the one passed by the transfer fee people on language that is satisfactory to the select board. The other change that it made was that it increased the price range within which this could apply to a different price range, a higher price range than was in the original application, but it did not change the percentage of the amount of the fee. And then obviously, based on all the work we've done personally and with Tucker over the last 5 or 6 years, we obviously recommend a positive finance committee motion.
Thank you, Ken. Brian, did you want to add anything to this?
No, I don't have anything to add to this, Madam Chair.
Okay, just checking. Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions for Ken on this particular? Okay, then Articles 85 and 86, please, Ken.
Maria, if you have the map on this one, this is a request for the town to acquire and then convey three portions of three ways: East Eel Point Road, North Point Road, and an unnamed way between the western sideline of East Eel Point Road and Matticat Harbor. The purpose is to provide coastal access for the public. A study done jointly with the land bank determined that the property was not properly transferred into the name of the town in the 1920s. And this will have the effect of ensuring that the pathways are currently recorded in the name of the town, to either then convey them to the land bank or to the Conservation Foundation, as the select board may determine, with any costs of the survey or other things to be borne by the land bank and the Conservation Foundation. And important, this is recorded land as opposed to registered land, which makes this transaction much easier to accomplish. Again, the staff recommendation is for positive finance committee motion for the taking and then the disposition.
Any questions? Seeing none, we'll go on to 87 and 88, please, Ken.
87 and 88 are the deal with the Sheep Pond Road erosion issues. So this is a select board request to acquire and then dispose of, in most instances, to the Conservation Foundation, the paper roads that are shown here in red to address the creation of a new access way across which unfortunately isn't shown on this particular map. But if you're looking on the map, if you go where Red Barn Road comes down, and there's the first red one that comes in down Sheep Pond Road. If you're going in that road and then a sort of a curved line over to that next parallel red line, that's where the new road is going to be. And that will then be able to continue to the existing roads that are there. And we have belief will be there for a sufficient amount of time to be able to provide access to the particular houses there. Part of the proposal is for us to not end up owning any land out here. And what we will be doing is we will be creating easements from land from the Conservation Foundation and having agreements with the abutters to the easements for them to be able to utilize that way as a way to access their property. That was similar to what we did with a number of years ago with the existing easements that exist for their access to the existing part of the remaining Sheep Pond Road, which is up off of Head of Plains Road. This is a process that will take several years to accomplish because of the fact that it needs to be done in connection with the proposal for Alter Rock mentioned later on. This is something that we've had very, very good negotiations with the land bank. So we very much encourage Finance Committee to have positive motions to take and then dispose of these paper roads. And this will be done in conjunction with the articles relative to Articles 93 and 94, 50 Alter Rock Road. Happy to answer questions.
Ken, why is the, I understand the ones in the, where, over by Sheep Pond, why is the one over by Proprietor's Way? Is it just to clean up the whole area? Is that the intention?
That road is not part of what we were talking about. I don't know how it got on this map.
Okay. Okay,
All the things we were talking about are everything from Red Barn out to the ocean.
okay,
All right.
thank you. Any other questions for Ken? No, all right, thank you. 87 and 88, so now 89 and 90, please, Ken.
Yeah. This is the request to acquire and dispose of a portion of the street in the area of the old railroad bed, which was caused by the original John Chagru surveys. The intention is to ensure that none of the abutters are landlocked and to settle old title issues. This is a similar approach that has been taken by other select boards in other areas of the island. This again is recorded land, as was the paper roads in the Sheep Pond area. And again, we look for positive motions for the taking then a disposition, with the abutters paying all the costs of any survey work required, as well as the cost of town council. And again, it's simply to clear up some title issues and then also make sure that no one out there ends up being landlocked.
Any questions for Ken? No, straightforward. Thank you, Ken.
Next one is Easy Street. Basically, this has been discussions that has been held between the Steamship Authority, the Land Bank, and the town, with a view to acquiring and then disposing of the different portions of this particular property to the Land Bank and the Woods Hole Martha's Vineyard Steamship Authority on terms to be negotiated by the select board, which we think is in the best interest of providing transportation access and sidewalk access to this particular area, addressing sea level rise, coastal resiliency, and to remove the barriers to the reconstruction of the pier that abuts the small parking area to the right of the entrance to the Steamship Authority. The current estimate is for the contribution of $1 million from each of the three parties for this process. Town funding for this, for our portion, would require a debt exclusion as opposed to a debt exclusion.
Oh, okay.
We might need to be adept in order to get to debt exclusion, but I'm sorry for the play on words. The Land Bank Board has already approved its participation, and our understanding is the steamship is moving forward with respect to it. It is proposed that the three parties share the cost of any survey required, as well as the cost of town council as to the creation and recording of the documents. This is also recorded land, which in fact makes this a better situation. And the object of the exercise is to, in fact, be able to, at some point in time, you're going to end up removing the structure or doing very differently with the structure in terms of making this a very much more attractive and user-friendly access to the principal entry area of entry to the town. Again, staff is recommending a positive finance committee motion for the acquisition and conveyance, and be happy to answer questions on this one.
Chris?
Ken, is it envisioned that the town end up owning any of it at the end of the day, or does it end up being parceled out to?
Well, our envision is that we're going to own almost nothing of it at the end of the day, simply enough to have sidewalks and other access and street access around the corner is where we hope to be at the end of the day.
And so is the reason the town needs to play a role at all in this is that to sort of buy some time, a little bit like the bus station thing, because the land bank wouldn't have the flexibility later on to sell a portion of the Steamship Authority?
That's right. The fact of the matter is that we have to be a player in there, because the minute that the land bank has it, it can't do anything with it. And the exact way to restructure this is not clear, but we all understand what needs to be done. And so the object of the exercise is to have us be the player that allows to provide the flexibility to make this happen in the most propitious way for the benefit of the town.
And you don't have enough work to do otherwise.
All
right. Sounds good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Hi, Joe. Let's do this. Let's make a motion on 19 through 92, because then Joe is here, because he would not have been here, obviously, when we get to the end and want to make motions. He wouldn't have been here for the first several. So I suggest at this point we make a motion, and then we can continue on in the same process and do the rest of them in a block as well. Okay, does that make sense? Everybody's nodding yes. Okay.
Make a motion
right.
to adopt.
Okay, so that would be, the motion is motion to adopt Articles 19, 76, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, and 92.
Second.
Okay, by roll call, Chris,
Aye.
Jill,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Denise, aye. Okay, thank you. All right. So Joe, what we,
Aye.
no, you,
Oh,
No,
I can't,
Joe.
I can't
No,
vote on,
Joe.
oh, that's right. I get you. My bad,
Yeah.
my bad.
You don't get to vote on ones you haven't.
I thought you were like holding it up, waiting for my vote. Sorry.
No, oh, and George, please.
Hey.
Thank you, George. Okay, so we're trying to do them in bulk here, Joe, so we don't have to do individual roll
Sounds
calls
good.
for 20+ articles. You can thank Jill for the process improvement. So, good. Okay, Ken, 93, Alter Rock.
93 and 94 together. This is part of the sheep pond transaction. And part of the decision here is that this is a 5-acre parcel that was given to the town and can only be used for these kinds of purposes. We're not the best steward of this, and the Conservation Foundation would like to, in fact, have this transaction because they own all of the land around it. So in order to help facilitate the acquisition and their work with respect to solving the sheep pond, we agreed that what we would do is we would acquire the property and then get permission in a home rule petition to be able to transfer it to the land bank, because the conditions that are necessary in terms of how to maintain this are consistent with what the Conservation Foundation does, as well as what the town does. So this is our recommendation, is to have a positive Finance Committee motion with respect to this transaction. It ends up not having the public, it ends up with the public getting a benefit here, because obviously the Conservation Foundation is in better condition to take care of this property and maintain this 5-acre parcel as opposed to the town at this particular point in time. And it provides a benefit to the citizens of the town, because it allows us to be able to do the work necessary to solve the problem with access out on Cheap Pond Road.
Thank you. Any questions for Ken? Okay, thank you. 95 stands alone, I think.
95 stands alone. This is it's a home rule petition to deal with a couple of lots on Ames Avenue. A number of years ago, the earlier select board agreed to transfer some property to the abutter of the property on Ames Avenue, and we're to convey some lots to the town, and we're supposed to convey some lots to him. It turns out that one of the lots that was supposed to be conveyed has a conservation restriction on it. And so in order to be able to complete this transaction, which this person has been waiting for a number of years, because in fact, he can't complete the house that he's building, the addition to the house that he's building, is we need to be able to file this home rule petition in order to be able to get it passed, so that we can then convey the conservation piece, so that we can get back the piece from him that the town wants to have in order to be able to make this all work. So it's a fairly complicated transaction, but this was the easiest way that with town council, we were able to figure out how to do it. And so we recommend a positive Finance Committee motion to move forward with this.
Okay, any questions? Okay, seeing none. 96 and 97, please.
96 and 97 is out in Tom Nevers Road. The land bank owns the property out close to the ocean, and there's an easement over Dorset Road that is the way to provide access to the land bank property. The recommendation here is that we do the taking and then a conveyance of it in order to be able to reduce to connect the public to the land, to this public road, and to not overburden the previously conveyed easement. And so it's a fairly straightforward transaction. The benefit to the town is that everybody now has access out to the land bank land by means of a public road, as opposed to the easement that was there before. And it resolves some previously ongoing issues with respect to the neighbor to the property. Again, it is a recommendation that we move forward with the taking and then the disposition.
Ken, do any of the abutters have an objection to this then becoming a public way?
We have not heard any objections and not received any objections from anybody.
And it's Dorset, not Dorset. It didn't play football for Pittsburgh, so. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Yeah, okay. All right. Any other questions for Ken? Okay, thank you. 98 and 99, please, Ken.
The 98 and 99 is Westchester Street and Wee Weeder. They're two separate, different transactions. And I'm not sure
Oh, yeah.
on this particular map, because the section oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, the section, the green section, is the existing road that goes from Crooked Lane all the way out to Wannacomet. For those of you who have been out there, it goes about a little bit past Billy Cassidy's old property. And then there is new construction that's occurring on the right side of it from houses that were built off of the new road that was built sort of parallel to Westchester Avenue. And what's happened is that it is overgrown, and part of what this plan is that we do the official taking of the necessary width of the road. It will be used by the land bank in terms of opening the trails in that part of the area to a lot of the land that they own out there. And it will then end up being a useful connection from Crooked Lane all the way to Wannacomet Road. But the fact is that any survey or other costs are going to be absorbed by the land bank as a part of this transaction. The other part of the transaction is, in fact, Wee Weeder Street, which unfortunately is marked on the wrong part of the map because it's at the bottom of the airport, and it is along. It's designed to, in fact, clear up the title to the land sort of underneath the bottom of the runway of the airport. So it's fairly straightforward. It's just to make clear with respect to who owns the land and that there is public access across that portion of Wee Weeder Avenue. And again, the land bank would be paying for any costs relative to that. Again, this is our staff recommendation is a positive motion for the taking and then the disposition.
Questions for Ken? Chris?
And I'm sorry, I didn't quite follow and understand the Westchester Ave one. Are you saying it's not passable to traffic now, but it's going to be opened up for traffic?
No, it's not. When you go down, Chris, when you get just past where Billy Cassidy's old house is, what's happened is that, in fact, the abutters, which we were dealing with them on an encroachment issue, they have started to plant a lawn there and stuff like that to enhance their backyard. So that started to address the issue. And when you go through the roadway, when you go on the state maps, the street goes all the way through, but it is overgrown. And what we are going to be doing is make sure we have the correct identification of where the street is and the appropriate width for the street, so that we mark the boundaries with respect to the boundaries on both sides, and then give that to the land bank, and the land bank then will be able to use that to create trails through there, through all of the other abutting property that the land bank has in that area.
So is there a notion to create trails, or is the notion to open it up to traffic?
No, it's not. We're not going to talking about opening up the traffic.
Oh, okay, that's the part that I was
No,
confused.
we're not going to. That's not the object of the exercise.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So Ken, that's if you were to pull into the driveway for the offshore animal hospital and keep going straight, that's what you're talking about.
That's right. And when you go down that, when you go past the old house, the Billy Cassidy's old house on the left-hand side, and then to the left are the big fields that the land bank bought. Okay, this abuts all of those fields. And on the right-hand side is the backyards of the new houses that have been built on the road just north of that.
I just happened to walk that about 3 weeks ago, so it's fun. For a change, I actually know which property we're talking about. Exactly. Good. Okay. Any other questions for Ken? No? All right.
Then with the citizens articles, the real estate assessment committee doesn't deal with these until they're passed at town meeting. But it's very important for the town to take a look at it to make sure that anything that's proposed is not detrimental to the town's needs or priorities. And so I've taken a look at Articles 102 and 103. And this is a proprietor's road of west of Tripp Avenue and 59 South Shore Road. This is a request from the abutter to have the town acquire and then dispose of a property just under 17,000 square feet, shown in yellow on the plan, or on red on this particular plan. And there's not appear to be any public interest in maintaining this stub, as there is access to the existing budding parcels and no nearby public resources. Completion of the transaction will be subject to the abutter paying all costs of any survey and trust of town council. And this is one of the few parcels that is registered land, which means that this is a transaction that will take forever because you can't get anything out of land court. And whatever the disposition price would be the number recommended by REAC, and which would go to the select board for approval. So my recommendation in the committee is to have a positive finance committee motion for the taking and then the disposition.
Okay, any questions on 102 and 103? Ken, are we coming back to 100 and 101? Because
I didn't do 100 and 101, but I can talk to them.
okay, let's finish the 104 and 105, and then do a bulk motion, then come back to 100 and 101.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
104 and 105 are, they're two 12-foot wide ways on Norbert Way. And this is a request for the town to acquire and then dispose of the two parcels as the number shown in the sheet. And it's a paper portion of two private unbuildable parcels on the north and south side of the property that goes westerly from Airport Road to the property. Again, there does not appear to be any public interest in maintaining a portion of these paper lots, and completion of the transaction would be subject to the abutters paying all of the costs of the survey. And the disposition would be at a price recommended by REAC. And as this is recorded land, this could move forward and has a chance of getting done in the near term. So again, recommend a positive finance committee motion for the taking and the disposition.
Any questions for Ken? Ken, does this mean that the 12 abutters are going to be, there's 12 abutters, correct? Oh, wait, there's more. There's 12, there's 15 abutters.
No, there's 12.
Yeah, that was exactly my question, Denise, is, so are these little slivers, each one going to be lopped up into a slice that gets appended to each of these lots, or what?
That's probably the way it will end up going. We haven't really discussed the mechanics of it, but that would be the way that each one of these people will get this small addition to their lot.
Got it.
Okay, any other questions? No? Okay. So let's,
The utility easements in Shadbush Road, I honestly don't, I did not take a look at that. So I don't have a comment on that. With respect to the long-term lease authorization for the shooting range, I've been working with Vicky on that. And we have made an amendment to the RFP for that. We have also gotten permission from the environmental people that if we do something with respect to that, there would need to be a conservation easement that needs to be filed. But the concern that we had was that we didn't want to file the conservation easement and not have the RFP or it proceed, or the whole shooting range proceed. And so we've gotten an opinion from the state that's saying that we do not have to file the conservation easement until the RFP has been accepted and the building has been completed, so that we are in a position where we are creating a conservation easement that is not necessary because of what ends up being the actual use of the property. So the proposed item, which is on the agenda on the warrant, it is our recommendation that we make a positive finance committee recommendation on that with the changes most recent changes that Vicky has made and which will be approved by the select board either this week or next week.
Okay. So
And I apologize for 100.
that's okay, no problem. Libby, can you speak to 100, please?
Yes, I don't have 100 right in front of me, but is that is
Is
that,
it Utility easement Shad Bush Road.
this is for the marine building? And
Marine building.
yeah, it's the marine outbuilding, storage building out on.
Okay, because I was gonna say, I don't see any water there. I'm
No,
missing
it's
the-
the storage building. It's under construction. And National Grid requires an easement to do the electrical service.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Any questions for Libby about that? Now, one procedural question, 101. Is the select board going to be changing this article? And therefore, if we make a motion, we have to review it again. It's for the shooting range. Or is it going to stand as it is? I'm sorry, Ken, if I didn't clearly understand what's happening with that in respect to Vicky.
They're not going to change the nature of the terms of the warrant article.
Okay.
It's just the definition of what's in the RFP is going to be clarified.
Okay,
And the one answer that the select board had relative to the concern relative to the granting of the conservation easement has been acted on positively from the town's point of view with respect to that they don't have to file it and record it until if the plan is approved until the actual structure is built. So it doesn't expose the town to, in fact, doing something that it couldn't be able to unwind down the road.
okay, thank you. Any questions for Ken? No? Okay. So in which case, are we comfortable as a committee to do a bulk motion on 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105?
So moved.
Positive motion.
Second,
Thank you. Okay, Chris,
Aye.
Jill,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
George,
Aye.
Stephen, Peter,
aye.
Denise, I. Okay, motion to adopt. Great, thank you. All right, committee reports. Oh, Stephen, did you want to yell aye?
Yes.
Can all of you hear me?
Now we can.
Just my computer just said it went back to the AirPods. My AirPods are across the room, so I can't tell if it's. Hey, okay. Committee reports. You would think after all this time on Zoom, it would all just be flawless. Any committee reports? Seeing none, date of next meeting is tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll be going through the planning board recommendations. And as you know from last year, typically we just endorse the planning board. That's usually how it comes out, and sometimes we don't. So we'll see as we go through the recommendations. Andrew and Leslie will present them to us. I did watch all the meetings about them up till now, so interesting discussions, and we'll go through those tomorrow. So that's tomorrow's meeting. Any other business? Oh, Jill, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna ask about tomorrow. Are we gonna have a quorum tomorrow? I didn't know if,
Yeah, I don't know that if, I don't know that, I don't know that we're not, let's put it that way. So
okay. 'Cause
anyone,
it's probably gonna be a long night and I'm trying to figure out, like, are we actually gonna get to vote on it? Are we gonna delay it or,
yeah, no, we're gonna vote on, I'm optimistic that we'll get through everything, having watched the planning board discussions on them. I think they're straightforward, their recommendations. I think there might be one or two that we might want to discuss more at length. And, but other than that, I think it'll be pretty straightforward, though it is, there is quite a few, so. I'm optimistic that we will finish on time tomorrow, but I always am. Peter,
If you don't know, though, I just got an email that Nantucket Together has sent an email out to their entire audience to be on the call tomorrow,
Okay,
to hear the FinCom's discussion of the warrant articles.
well, the planning board I hate to go to the end of the movie before the start of the movie, but the planning board on Articles 39 and 42, which are the planning board supported or the select board articles came out with motion to adopt, not surprisingly, on 39 and 42, and then motion take no action on 43, which is the citizens sponsored article on short-term rentals. So just in case you hadn't seen that already in Nantucket Current or somewhere already floating around. So there you go. Okay.
Yeah, I think even VRBO came out and endorsed some too, so.
I don't think this was an endorsement.
Huh?
I don't
Yeah.
think this was an endorsement.
Nantucket Today, yeah, they are in favor of those, I
Nantucket
think.
Together is not endorsing anything here. They want to know the financial impact on the town for each one of the articles. If I'm reading this correctly. It doesn't say here they're happy it's a good plan.
Yeah, I think like Denise said, I think watching the planning board meeting was quite helpful.
So, okay, we will discuss it tomorrow when it's on the agenda. So, all right, folks.
Lisa, I just want to thank you very much for the way that you changed the agenda to, in fact, make my life a little bit easier. And I hope you found the comments as a useful tool in terms of looking at the material that you have to discuss.
Ken, it's always helpful for us to have you send this ahead of time. That was quite good. Thank you. It's my fault. I didn't get it to everybody till today. I didn't check my town emails over the weekend. Can you imagine? And thank you very much. And as always, thanks for the preparation. It makes it easy for us to discuss and understand what's happening because of your thorough preparation and presentation. I'm disappointed you didn't wear a red sweater, but I'll try to get over that. So good. Okay. With that, any other business? Otherwise, I look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. I always get lots of seconds on that one. Chris,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Jill,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Denise, I thank you very much, everyone. Tucker, we're actually signing off. Ken represented beautifully well. Motion's adjourned. Meeting's adjourned. See you. Oh, George. Sorry, George. You keep flipping it out of my screen. Okay, everyone. Have a good evening. See you tomorrow.